Good morning. I think it's morning.
You might say it again.
Good morning. It is morning here. Absolutely morning here. Okay. What are we doing today? We're doing stencils mainly. But we're going to use stencils in a lot of different ways. Not just to stamp, paint on with little pooty-doo things here. So, the first thing I wanted to start with before I get all the paint out here and everything is just to go through the papers very quickly, because I think in the video I did with the photo transfer monoprints,
There were a lot of questions about the paper.
there were a lot of questions about the paper. And I think, rightfully so, because
There were a lot of ordering. There was a lot of ordering of paper.
yes, yes. And I was there myself, and I thank some of the people on the gel printing enthusiast site because they were very helpful. Hazel Harrison.
Well, I don't know. Let's not.
Yeah.
People,
Okay. She was really instrumental in that process, and when you go along, it's very logical. If you want details, then your paper needs to be very fine toothed. You don't need a lot of textural on your paper. You need it nice and smooth so it's picking up the details. That's where the hammer mill photocopy paper, and it is a little more expensive than your regular copy paper, but I promise you, you will be much happier with it. I use it in both the inkjet and the laser printer, and I love what comes out.
Yeah, we've even been using it for printables, which have been quite nice.
Yes.
Surprisingly.
Surprising so. It has a nice finish to it. It's just enough slick that it's I don't know. Anyway, this is good stuff. We'll be using that a lot today when we actually get to the printing process. Now, what I started off with here, because this is what I had, is our craft paper that I tear off on this huge roll over there, and I think that we talk about that a lot in another video. And it's marvelous, and you can even see here a little bit on the edge. It has a nice tooth to it, and I love it for colored pencils. It's absolutely the bomb.
And if you guys have any questions, just put it in the chat. I'm reading the chat.
Yes, thank God, because my eyes do not read minuscule
When Gigi's in the chat,
print.
I kind of have to do dual.
Okay, now this is tissue paper. And I've used tissue paper straight out of, a packing box of whatnot. But the reason I went ahead and went with this acid-free, whatever, is two reasons. Number one, it's a little sturdier. It's the strength of it. When you're pulling it off of the plate, you're not going to have large chunks of tissue paper remaining on your plate, which is really an irritating thing. Okay, when I was messing around, I found this little piece of, I have no idea where it's probably 20, 30 years old.
We have a lot of those items.
Yeah, and I just thought, let's try it. I don't know. It's got some little flecky gold stuff in there. I thought that might be interesting. And I wanted to go ahead and use some I think this is from when we were framing. It's the backing.
Oh.
On frames.
Probably really
It's craft paper. I don't know. Whatever. And then this is the newest one that I purchased. This is rice paper. And I did start off doing my prints, my photo transfers on this. And as you can see, it's very, very thin, but it's very, very strong. But flexible, and it does some lovely things.
I want to try printing on the inkjet.
And it says that you can do that. But you do, I think, because of the flexibility of the paper, probably need to back it with something else. Just because I don't see it.
That's probably true, because that one time I did put that one thin stuff through the inkjet, it got all
kind of crumpled
up.
Yeah, I think it skids out or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so, done with that. Now,
Any questions?
yeah, Hit
Remember,
Mariah.
go back into your teacher mode. You can slow it down. She's starting to get the rhythm of like the regular video thing where I'm like, okay, come on, you got to keep going. Where I think now we're at a point where we can take it easy and, you know, people have questions, maybe.
Okay.
We're hoping.
Yeah, well, absolutely we're hoping. The reason I'm starting off with, and, you know, there were questions someone asked about, well, what does this masking thing mean? Well, there's the masking that I'm talking about when I use it here is what area is going to be covered up in the print when you're doing the stenciling, either this way or actually putting it onto the gel plate. The area that doesn't get any of the new paint on it is what's masked off. And you know, you can place your thing around and kind of mess with it. I just found this thing when I was going through all of our cuts from the Cricut, and it's kind of messed up, but I don't really think that that's going to be an issue when I am going to use it today. You can tell it's never been used because it doesn't have any paint on it. I can tell which one of my stencils I like the best by how much it weighs. Of ones that's about 5 pounds. We may have to remake it because it's gradually closing in on the surface of the... Okay. Alright, so with this, I want to use this, and I want to use it before it gets any more...
See, we don't need a studio audience for laughter. We can laugh at our own stuff.
Yeah, sad as that may seem. Okay, so let's just go through these. Now, I picked this one because it already has a stencil on it. And actually, I'm not really sure. This was a long time ago. This is when I first started printing. I'm thinking that this is...
You need... Whoa. So, a long time ago, and a long time ago in Gigi's land is about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah,
Maybe,
you know.
Maybe 3 weeks, I don't know.
When you get my age, you're allowed that kind of stuff. But what I want to point out here is, okay, this is the positive. This is with the paint going on there. This is what's covering up. Can you see the difference there? And I really love that. And I think this was it was either my yoga mat.
It looks like the yoga mat with how tight the bubble thing, because it's not bubble wrap.
It is not bubble wrap, although I do love some bubble wrap. I really like this. I thought that the smaller scale of the...
Alright, so Robin says she loves all those papers. I have several weights of the inkjet papers for printing a jelly plate. Lots of junk mail is really smooth paper too.
Oh. I do have a whole pile of envelopes.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, now this is a really good example of masking.
And Christy laughed at my 2 weeks comment.
Christy, you'll get there. I keep reminding Mariah, you know, I hope I live long enough to see her, you know. Old.
And can't see or hear. It's not going to happen. I have a phenomenal hearing, smelling. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, she's completely annoying in that category. Okay, you can see this is just one little thing that I've just kind of plopped down out in the middle, which is really horrible composition.
Floating objects do not make for, what was it? Was it Bobby Weed? My
do
high
not
school
make
art
for
teacher.
a good composition.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got the floating object out there, and I was trying to do some things with it, but we're going to go ahead and do some other things to it too, you know, make it better.
Make it more better.
But you can see, here's the two. You can see, can you see it? I don't know what.
Yeah.
Can you see it good?
I'm thinking it looks pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Comment below.
Yeah, okay, we're going to work on both of those sometime today. And this one, I love this one. Can you see the stencil here? And then I used my little...
Was that the new stencil?
That was, yes.
So that was in your last print.
That was in my, yeah. But it didn't come through quite, I need to have some more contrast here. Everything on here is the same value. Okay, love this for a background. But, I mean, it's really kind of, eh. Alright, this is a piece of the craft paper, and as you can see, I've brayered off on both sides. Sometimes I get, you know, in a real rush there, and I just need to get some of that off. But I think this is a very interesting, and this is a good start to a stenciling background. Okay, this is another one. You can see some of the shapes that are out there. I can't really remember how that happened. But anyway, we're going to do some different things to that. And this is one of my stencils that, you know, I did a whole series on this one.
Let's talk about a little bit. So let's talk about the process of the stencils. We have a video. I put that up last night on creating them.
Yes, and we actually will be using the video that we created last night.
Or the stencil from the video.
The stencil from the video. Yes, thank you. Okay, obviously this background here is kind of, it's just not very pousy-wowsy. I'm loving this, and you can see these circles. Hopefully I'll be able to find that. I did try to organize my stencils, but sometimes...
Christy says, are those roll-off papers? No, those are actual...
No. Some of them, and I'm getting down to some that might be.
But look
No,
at
I think
Christy
those are in the
knowing
other
some
bag.
things.
These are actually, yeah, these are actually prints. Although I do love my roller, my brayer offs. But there are areas...
These are from the plate. Like, she pulled these
off the plate. And the reason you're seeing this really weird thing around here is because that's where, I mean, I probably had an 1/8 of an inch buildup, which I finally just had to break down, and I couldn't get it to pick up anything. So I just had to. But every now and then you'll see those little areas. That's where it's pulling a chunk off that was on there.
She likes those.
I love those. And I love this sort of irregular edge. Some people do not like that so much.
That's where you live. That's your happy place.
That is my happy place.
On the edge. Dirty and goopy. On the edge.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that hurl of vomit's probably going to make it through there. All right, here is an area that I will mask off simply because I want that to remain. Again, this is one of the newer stencils. I love this, but what I think it needs is some black stuff, and I've got a plan there for that edge.
Not just an idea. She's got
I have a plan. If I can locate the stencil. Again, yeah, there's a caveat there. You know, if I can locate that stencil, we're going to do some fabulous stuff. Okay, again, kind of the same thing. It needs some contrast. It needs some oomph. But now, I love this. I will be masking off areas here where I know the value is almost exactly the same in some of the places. I don't care. I like it. And you can see, I think this was 3 or 4 pulls. Kind of hard to tell. Anyway, okay, and here, this side, this is a brayer off, Christy. You can tell. And this is one of the newer stencils. I'm not in love with it, but I think it might be good for some background. And look at that. Is that not wonderful? Okay, again, this is kind of one of those, needs some contrast in there. I'm going to bring in some more of the darker browns, I think. All right, this is, actually, I think this is some paper that came out of a shoebox that I needed the box for my brushos. But it has some asemic writing, you know, stuff on it, which I want to mask that out, but I want to go ahead and use some of the other stencils. This is a catch paper, which was then printed on. You can see the little areas where it's been sprayed upon. Now, this is a brayer off and then a print on, but I went ahead and coated it with the, what do you call that stuff, Mariah? It's
the matte medium?
It's not.
It kind of crinkled it.
It did. And well, it was actually crinkled, and then I pressed really hard with the brayer to get the crinkles out. Because a lot of times when you're brayering here, it'll crinkle up over here. But I think that's very interesting. I think it
kind of looks like old leather.
It does, but it's that.
Or when you got the leather.
This is the one that has the texture to it. The Dinah Wakely. I hope I'm saying Dina. I don't even know. I frankly don't care. That's terrible. But yeah.
I guess that we probably won't be getting a call from, you know, that big brand.
Yeah, whatever it is. Same thing, the same coating on this, and I just wanted to see, and you can see it's kind of, you can see how wet it was because it wrinkled up. This was a print, but it's annoying because it's just so busy. And I think what I need to do is I just need to mask out some of the areas where it's more interesting, and then get rid of some of the busy stuff. That's my plan.
Robin says it's Dina.
Dina, thank you, Robin.
Yeah, see, she spelled it like D-E-E-N-A. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Dina.
Dina. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so I don't want to digress enough here that I'm still on task. I've got to find. I want to use this thing right away.
I'm scared of that thing.
I'm a little anxious about that too.
Oh, Pia's here. Hello.
But I want to get just the right one, and I think this might be it. And I do, Mariah, don't let me forget to talk about these before I move on, because these are some things that I worked on last night for masking. Rid of all this stuff. Put my plate over here. And we kind of had, and I put this underneath because it would be just like me to go ahead and just print on top of the plastic. Okay. Kind of a still messy. It's still got a little stuff on it, but we're not going to worry about that. Basically. Okay, I'm going to lay this over here to the side.
Am I in your way?
What? No.
Okay.
I might elbow you when
I got closer to the mic, so hopefully...
If I get aggressive with my brayering here.
Is that improving, Robin, everybody? I mean, you need to hear me, because I'm funny.
She's not nearly as funny as she thinks she is.
You're not going to learn anything from me in this one, necessarily. But I am here for comedic relief and to keep her on task or slow her down.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Christy's laughing.
Okay, now, the whole thing about the...
See, Christy's here to support me and laugh at me and make me feel like I'm doing my part.
Bless your heart, Christy. All right, so I'm going to put this down here for just a minute, and I don't want to press it because my little tendrils are very tenuous. Tenuous tendrils. And I don't want to lose those little boogers before I get them.
Have at least one pass at them.
One pass. I think I've got one pass. I got to get it right the first time because we don't have any.
What was that from? Did I cut that?
Uh-huh. I have no idea. I don't know where the other part went to, but anyway, yeah.
Really?
Okay.
See, look at now I'm having a pee moment.
Yeah.
When was that? What
see,
was that?
you moved closer to me and it leached over onto you.
When did we do that? What did we use that on? Did I make that?
It's seriously a rhetorical question. She's not really asking me because she knows I already don't know.
Yeah.
That was back in the card making. That could even be as much as a year ago. And we were talking about 2 weeks while ago. Come on, folks.
Here, yeah. Let me see that a second.
This?
No,
Well, don't mess my tendrils up.
I'm not going to. I just want to see it so I can maybe, have a moment with it and remember.
Have a memory thing there as far as the...
It was probably something I cut out for you.
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Yeah, that you were like, that's too thin.
Well, no, I would say it was probably too regular. Okay, I'm moving this in simply because I've got my brayer off papers here, but I need to mix over here, and that's the thing I want to talk about. When you're doing your stencils, you need to mix off plate. Unless you're, I don't know. That is not necessarily true. But for what I want to do here...
You should preface and say that these are not exactly hard and fast rule or tried and true rules. This is the life according to Patricia P.
Exactly.
At PM Artist Studio.
I don't know
Hey, if you're finding value in this video, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Yeah.
There we go.
Have any nasty comments, could you just please do them on this?
Well, yeah, leave a comment. Don't give us a thumbs down. That really hurts me.
It hurts Mariah. I just chuckle about it and say, it's a bunch of people.
And as Izzy says, well, maybe Mommy, they just don't like it. That's what she told me. True enough.
Yeah, there you go. We would like you to be more specific on your dislikes so that we can probably...
We will adjust if we deal with
if
it.
we don't know what it is, we can't fix it. Okay, thank you.
I'm not having
I
any
think
recollection.
yeah, okay. Nothing came to you?
No.
No.
I
no
even want
moment
to
there.
say that might have been like when I first got the Cricut.
Ah. Yes, that was certainly a learning curve.
Well, thank God for Christy.
Yeah.
And she's here in the chat. She's the one who has anything awesome and crafty. I think we have gotten from Christy, and
Yes.
certainly have gotten instruction.
And
Because I didn't know how to work the Cricut. In fact, it sat for almost probably
we had to
almost a year.
dust it off before we used it.
Because I was like, this thing it just made me angry.
Literally, and I didn't even approach it because I thought,
well, that's not your department.
no, I would have taken a nice pick to it. All right, so basically what we're thinking about here is what colors do we want our stencil to use here? Okay, I'm leaning towards this blue, and I kind of want to get some Prussian blue going here because I want to talk about how to make the purple haters like purple better when they can control whether it's too pink or too blue or whatever. I want to deal with that. I would also like a little bit of transparency, even though we're masking out a lot of the area. I do want to have some of that textural content show through from the stencil. So, okay, I don't know if you can see over here. Mariah, can they see over here?
Not that far, no.
Not that far. Okay, so you're just gonna
to your brayer.
you're just gonna have to trust me on this, okay?
This is a little trust exercise.
Yeah. Okay.
We will catch you.
Lean back, lean back. Okay, so I want to talk about this paint business because I tell you what, this drives me crazy. Okay, this is Prussian blue. This is Prussian blue. As you can tell from the tube, it's I don't know if it has any dates on it anywhere. God knows I wouldn't be able to read it anyway. But I can read Prussian blue here. I can also read, because of the high contrast here, high viscosity. Those are good things. And this is actually some paint that I brought with me from Alaska that I think my husband used. He uses a lot of blue. But anyway, this is Prussian blue and this is Prussian blue. But they're
blues,
not even in, they're both Prussian blues. But
I'm guessing they're not using the Pantone system to match color, which is pretty interesting.
Well, it's like, when you go and you buy yarn and they tell you if you're doing a project, you need to make sure that you have enough.
You buy all of
the lot.
Yes.
Well,
same with flooring and tile.
That's the same thing with this paint that they, Prussian blue in Liquitex. It's not necessarily the same as Prussian blue in
and to
whatever
be honest,
that
they
is.
probably do that on purpose, just because then if you really like a particular...
I wished I could get that over there so that you could see that, because you can actually visually see a difference right now.
And maybe one day when we have a better setup, if you really saw how this was
oh yeah, it's
up,
frightful.
But we had to move the recording equipment to the P side of the studio.
Yeah.
So things are, which they're usually kind of rigged over in my area too, but...
Hey, Mariah, I need a little bit of matte medium with this because I don't want it to be quite as strong as it is. Okay, this is the other thing. You've got your paint and you like the color, but you just would like it to be a little bit less. And I want to increase the transparency. So basically what I'm doing off screen here is I'm mushing my paint around.
Can you give me a direction?
It's on the other
It's on the other side.
It's on the other side of the cart.
I just keep pulling clear gesso.
And I don't really care if it's matte or
Well, here's a gloss.
gloss is good.
Fantastic. I found that one straight away. I don't know what happened to all the
Acrylic medium gloss gel. And all this is, the reason it's good is because you're going to still have your same viscosity. It's not going to change that at all. What it's going to do is it's going to make it, it's just going to lessen the darkness of it. That's my, and you can mix this on your actual.
Oh yeah, here, can you scoot things ever so slightly that way? Because you still have some.
Yeah, I can.
Because I think that'll bring it into. Oh, we're getting there. Getting there. Ish.
Well, I just did. I didn't want to bring it in because I am going to brayer this on.
There. Well, yeah. There you go. Get a little edge of it.
Okay. Old credit cards are the best. Now, you can buy this fancy little silicone tool. Smusher, mixer, gusher. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the majority of the paint up here and kind of...
P.S. It's perfect. Awesome. All right, we're getting things squared away here.
I like squared away. Okay.
She doesn't. She's terrible at squaring away. That's what she has me for.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm pre-doing my brayer here. I just grab a little bit more. It's exactly like you would do if you were preparing your paint to put on a regular print type, you know, a lithograph or whatever. You want, and once you get it kind of pretty good over here, you know it's going to work here. Okay? All right. So, we now put down our, I'm putting this down because remember I don't want any paint in place. So.
This is either going to be really awesome or a complete epic, like, wah, wah.
And right now it's
hey,
leaning.
The sound effects are free.
It's leaning towards. Let me get those little, because I know once I get them down, they're gonna stick. Because that's what's lovely about the
I guess it's kind of like string.
Gel plate.
I'm wondering if they're gonna stay behind.
Oh Lord. Well, I've got some handy dandy tweezers here too.
Okay, I'll get you some baby wipes.
And of course, I've got a little bit of my plate sticking out over here, but I'm not, I've already got those boogers down. I am not moving it.
Yes, Christy, that is my glass that, what's so funny too, I offered it up to Mom to pee.
What?
This.
Yeah.
And at first she was like, no, I don't need that. I don't need your fancy glass. And then so one day I was like, well, here, why don't you just try it? I have not seen it since.
Oh,
she quite likes it.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, also the other thing, the advantage to doing your stuff over here, you can kind of get an idea about whether it is totally transparent or opaque. And this is like semi, so I'm loving it. That little booger, okay. We'll just start with you.
You're going down.
And I'm hoping...
Izzy will now say, you little booger. He's a cute little booger. No.
Yeah, I know. They're moving about the cabin on me. I don't know what to do there. Little.
Well, we might be able to use that thing too. Well, I'm sure we will.
Okay, and I'm going to rip this off very quickly because if you lollygag, I didn't use any retardant.
No lollygagging.
Retardant in there. Get this down on here. Hopefully it wasn't so dry that I can't. Now you've noticed that there's no register process here. And see, that's how you get some nice stuff going on there. Mariah, would you squirt a little retardant out there? This, once I discovered this stuff, it was like my life changed, literally, you know.
Her frustration level went way down.
Because usually we have, and we don't have today, because it's cool enough. We do have the window open.
Ooh.
Okay,
Oh, I
love it. Very rarely do things happen on the gel plate that I'm going, oh my God. That's better than I thought it was going to be. Usually I'm going, oh, well, I can live with it. I can do something else.
We had a hooray instead of a wah wah.
Now, we talk about the ghost print stuff here.
Here, I'll take it.
Yes, because I think I'm definitely done with
You're
that.
not going to beat that one down?
No, I'm not going to beat that one down. Okay, so we've got some stuff on the plate here, which is really great. And it's fairly dry. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix a little of my...
Pia said that was amazing. What was what, Pia? Sorry, and you may not even be able to hear me. What was what? The retarder? You may talk about that a little. Well, I know you got your...
Yeah, I'm just retarding my paint here just a sec.
What it does is it slows the drying.
Slows the drying. And if you have some stuff, and that was especially a factor, because in Texas, I don't know. Somebody says, well, my God, you've got 65% humidity. I don't care. It does. This stuff dries out fast. So once I discovered, and the thing about the retarder is you can really control how much you put on. Means you don't have a long drying time. Now the downside is you do need to have a place to place your prints. You can't just flop them on top of each other, because it's not going to work.
And so causes some definite conversations within the studio of space and flat surfaces.
So basically, I don't know. Am I thinking? Because I'm going to have to put a color on here. Oh, but I'm thinking I could use some of my... Now let's try that. All right, so now actually going on to the plate. Let's talk about transparency here. We've talked a little bit about it over here. And don't worry about that paint. It's going to be fine because I've got that retardant stuff on it, and I'll still be able to utilize it. Okay, so this is Quinacridone Nicolaso Gold. And I just bought a little thing of it because I don't know if I'm going to love it, and this is high dollar stuff. So if I don't love it, I've got a great big huge thing of it, and I don't know. I'm going, well, what did I get that for? Okay, so this is kind of in the orange family. So when we're talking about, Mariah, is my color wheel over there? And
I thought it used to be hanging up in your...
It was, but I had like a meltdown when I was trying to find my voting number, and I don't know what happened to it. Okay, well,
there's the cool, swirly one above there.
Yeah, I don't want to use that.
You're talking about the one you made.
Yes, I'm talking about my homemade one. Okay, so this plate is drying as we're speaking here, which is okay. I'm all right with that. Because we're going to try to pull this stuff up with this particular transparent golden acrylic. Okay.
And Pia says thank you. I think we did answer her question on all that.
Bless your heart. Gotta let us know these things. Okay. Now you can see right away that it is transparent.
I like that.
And just need to get it in places on here, because this is the soupy stuff. This is the low viscosity. Yeah, look at me.
We're going to give you both technical terms and then also just GG language of soupy.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not loving that. I'm going to just do a quick...
Ooh, yeah, I agree with that.
You know, sometimes those decisions that you make, like, super fast, whatever, are the best, and sometimes they're, like, total crap. But the thing I love about the Gelli plate stuff, and I usually have this taped down, so it's not like going...
You want some tape?
Well, I know, but I didn't know where I was going to actually
true.
end
up. That would have been a real pain if...
Yeah, and
so we did do some adjustments in live stream. We will get more professional at this if we continue this live streaming stuff.
Okay, is that not lovely?
Well, I'm very impressed. And I'm not just saying that.
I'm really glad that I didn't do this, because I think this would have just been a total waste. I need to use some of the blue on top of this. And now you can see I still have some stuff on the plate.
Would you like me to take that?
Yeah. Well, I think you can, because this it's good. It's not going to...
I've got things set up over here.
Bless your heart. Okay, so we still have some stuff on the plate here. What I may do is just go ahead and take... let's use some of our tissue paper to pull the rest of the stuff off the plate here. Because that would be...
Pia also liked that one too.
Did she like that one
Yes.
too? Bless your heart. Okay, titanium white. I'm doing that because I've discovered that the tissue paper, I love it because I don't know if you all remember it, but the
Is this kind of like what we were watching with Carrie the other day? And how she pulled that face, the magazine?
oh, I'm not really sure about that, but what my mind was thinking about here was going to the reason I want to use the some of the tissue paper. Okay, can you see how it's starting to build up on the edge there? Yeah,
All right, finish your thought.
not loving that. Not loving that. I don't know where I was going with that. I got things to do here.
You were building up the white because something about the tissue paper.
Oh, the tissue paper. Yes. And the journal. The
Ooh, I like how it's kind of
yeah, it
wrinkly
kind of
bit.
wrinkles.
All right.
Okay. Now let's see what we pull up here. Oh,
It's like you need little strips on the back to help hold the.
but the tissue paper will be wonderful when I start using, if I can ever get it off of my, on the textured, remember Mountain Sunrise?
Yes. Okay.
And the
now we're getting
texture?
somewhere.
This will work down into the crevices, creaks and crevices.
Oh, Christy's asking, is jelly glaze? Is jelly glaze a special paint? Does it dry so quick because it's spread out so thin? There are many factors, and this is we are still P is still learning. I just stand back and say yes, I like that, or may I have that to use in my stuff? But so the many factors, talk about that. So with the spreading of the paint being thin. No, technically there's not really special paint. I mean, mostly acrylics. And then depending on what you want to happen, here's my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, that's why she adds either like the retarder in or even some of the matte medium or gloss gel, the medium. It all kind of either spreads out, thins, or creates more opacity, depending on what stuff you're mixing in with what paint you're already using, which then there are obviously different levels of those paints. I don't know if you were kind of paying attention to that earlier when she was talking about like heavy body versus the ooey gooey.
Yeah.
So yes, there are different paints. They aren't necessarily just for jelly plate printing.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Did that make any sense whatsoever, Christy?
Okay, now I'm not in a big rush here because I just used the blue paint that has the retarder in it.
And
Okay.
Pia, yeah, I love the tissue paper stuff. I can't wait. Like P was talking about, we're gonna be using those, I think, on some of those textured here, and I'll bring in. Let me go grab one so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about and what we're hoping to use it for. Because that's the thing is geez, when Mom has been doing these, when P has been doing her jelly print sessions, she ends up with 100 sheets of printed
Yeah, I'm
papers, and then it's
into
like,
it.
okay, well, yeah, that's great. Now what are we doing with these? I mean, I know a lot of people in the gel printing groups, they bind them into little books, which is great, and I'm all for that as well. But we like to, usually something like this is just one level of a thing that we're going to use, an element within our journal building. We can't just, put the page in the book. That wouldn't be very PM.
Oh, hell no. Can't have that. Okay, now, you saw what I just did there. I brayered on the color, then I put on the things from the Cricut. Christy? Isn't that just absolutely
Goodness, we
fabuloso? Look, Mariah.
corrects me if we can say that.
Izzy likes, she says that. Okay, now here's another thing. I can take this over here. Oh, God.
Yeah, Pia uses hers for her backgrounds on her art journals.
Okay, did you see that? Did you see that? That's what Izzy says. Did you see that, Gigi? Look at that. But this is why I love
what's happening over here, too.
okay, now this is a...
Ooh. Do you need like a side area for this, or?
Well, I kind of did, but then I just thought, you know, what the hey.
What the hey?
Okay, you can take that one away, and I will use
Okay,
another
I like this.
one. I do too.
Alright, so this was from Circles and... Oh, these were from Christie's, right? When she made the little flower?
Oh, I don't know. These were from Words.
From Words.
Uh-huh. If you cut the words out right.
Well, and you've kind of rounded some of these corners and things. Let's see.
Yeah, I have. I've actually changed the... Okay, so we have to find a suitable print here. Just grab this one.
I like that. Alright, while she's pressing down on that, I'll show you guys. So this was like the journal cover we're talking about, and the tissue paper thing we're hoping to use on... And see, and I'm losing all my light when I go up too
Yes,
high.
because
There.
I have some that have just been sitting in a plastic bag. Oh, and I found my one that I made out of coffee. And I can't remember if we
were cleaning the studio, and that's when we find things.
God, isn't that the truth?
And then we organize it so that way we can't find it again.
All right, I mean, I absolutely, I love that. That meets my expectations. I just, you still see some of the original there, but look at that. Isn't that just, and now we still have a wonderful whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, Mariah, I need you to,
I'm taking.
because they're kind, now remember, they're kind of a little on the,
You're coming off quick.
a lot more so than I thought we were. All right.
Ooh, this is cool.
Yeah. Now, the good thing about these things is they actually get better with use. The only thing that you've got to watch out for is that you can pull off this will come off onto your plate, which I have one. I don't know if I can find it, but it actually was a wonderful accident. Okay, I'm just going to pitch those over there for right now. And I have a whole bunch more here. But I wanted to talk about my original, and it's okay if this dries out. No worries, Christy. It'll be okay. These are from my original going into stenciling. I hand cut these with an X-Acto knife. Yeah.
It's when she had more time and.
It's when I was in Alaska, and the winters are long.
Winters are long.
Very long, very long.
And she didn't have a kid to help take care of.
Yeah, I didn't.
You could actually concentrate on something.
Yes, and my husband went to work every day. Okay. I'll tell you what but isn't this just lovely? I don't know that I love it as a print, but it's going to be fabulous collage material because I love the semi-transparent quality. You see, you can see my hand through there. And I think that's going to be absolutely lovely. All right, that's just a little slightly wet, and I don't want it sticky.
I don't love this one. I think.
I know you don't, but you don't know where that's going.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I've got that, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, Felicia's with us again.
Hello, Felicia. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this off here, and I'm just going to use a piece of my wonderful copy paper and some of my... All right, Mariah, here are my notes. Can you look at those and see if I'm
goodness.
talking about
Really?
things?
I'm in charge of that
Yeah,
now?
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can't read and do stuff at the same time. Okay.
We are good. We were doing some hot off the press stuff, Felicia.
Okay. I can't see. Can you see this?
Can you see
I've
it?
only
Can you
I've
see
only had it about a month, but I've already used over half of it. This is my absolute favorite ever color. I just wish they'd come up with a better delivery system, because after a while this thing ends up and it just is all gooped all the way down. You can see I did attempt to kind of clean it up, by the way. You want to be careful. You don't want
you know
that.
what we should, I'm guessing, and we probably should have like Googled this or whatever, but maybe putting them like those ketchup bottles, like, you know, when you mix stuff, and
Oh yeah.
so then it would have the pointed spout, and then you can just tap it on and off. Hey, the ideas are free, people.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have,
they may not be good ones.
if you
They're
have a
ideas.
solution to this issue of the snotty nose on the stupid. Okay, so we know we went, and I've got to start pressing more around, because can you see the buildup that I'm getting on the edges? You know, and the problem is it just keeps building up and building up and building up, and it's, I don't know, whatever.
I thought you liked the chunky bits at the edges.
Well, I do like them, but the problem is sometimes, now see, look, I'm really pushing on the edges. I'm really trying to get all of that good stuff off of there so I can go ahead and do some more masking here with some of my original. Okay, getting back to my original foray into the arena of stencils. And you know, we will take a picture of I did 2 benches. Well, actually, I've done a lot of things. I did a
I was
bookcase.
gonna say there's 3 benches out there.
Okay, 3 benches that I've used. Okay, yeah, we're picking up some of the goo.
Ooh.
Maybe a little too good. I'm off of there, honey.
Anyway, what she's talking about is that a lot of these stencils, the paper ones that she's using
Yeah,
right
the
now,
file folders.
were made back when she spray painted these wooden benches. And so that's what you're seeing
Whoa.
on some of those is the spray paint, which also seals them.
Okay, isn't that just absolutely
that.
fantastic?
That one's good.
And see, we got some of the good edges, but we've still got, you know, we've still got some stuff down there. So
I'll take that.
we're going to sally forth. All right, let's kind of concentrate on this for a minute and talk about what do I want to happen there. Well, I want something to happen there, and I'm gonna. This is, you know, this is why things are always just a total crap fest here. Is because I just move things around. Okay, you can see this was, I used it for spray. And then I put these on. I don't know if I'm going to love this. I'm sorry, I'm just fumbling here. It's almost impossible. I tried to be as organized as possible this morning, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that
Hey,
way.
and Robin said she says she sees other artists shake those bottles over the plate instead of squeezing. Seems neater.
Oh. And then you don't have like the
The goo.
big wad of stuff right there that after a while really builds up.
So sometimes it's about technique. It's like when I'm telling Izzy that, you know, you don't have to be a bull in a china shop. Sometimes finesse.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, where is my little folder that I had here? Oh my God.
What are you trying to say, Christy? She says bracers. I give up. Autocorrect.
What
I don't
is
know
it?
what she's talking about.
What is
Brayer, I think. Yes,
Brayer.
Oh, and
Oh,
Pia
yes.
Pia chimed in and said Brayer. There you go. See,
I
they're
know.
helping each other out in the chat.
That's really great. Okay, look what I found that I'm so excited about.
Yeah,
Because
see,
I've never used it.
so Felicia says she uses the ketchup top.
All
Drives
right.
her nuts, but the oh.
What is it?
She's saying like she uses them for the ketchup things and drives her crazy because the kids don't put the lid back on and then it gets all gooped up.
Now, remember I told you about a circle thing that, you know, you saw earlier? Okay, I'm going to leave that out where I can actually see it. Maybe I'll be able to.
Now, hey, where's the one
Here,
from?
look, check this out. Isn't that... I don't know what it's gonna...
Hey, whoa! That is some unauthorized use of mathematical measurement tools.
And my question to you is, when was the last time you used that? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought.
what's...
Oh, the one I just pulled that print with, that's that hammer mill.
Yeah, that's the slicky, more, almost present. I call it, coming from the graphic design world or whatever, we call it presentation paper.
Yes, it has a lovely finish to it. Now, I'm hoping that this is going to be...
I hope so, too, because you're mucking it up.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Trying to really get it down in there. And this is where, when I talked about your stencils being too thick, that you can't get down into the...
Right, so that was one of the things from, like, yesterday's video. What was different from that cutout that we did with the Cricut is that I used the Yupo paper, which was one of the suggestions that P had found in the Facebook groups. So,
yes,
it really did turn out well. I was a little scared pulling it off of the mat, but...
Yeah, and see, you're not getting that, but we're going to get a good,
off
print over here. And, I mean, it's not going to hurt this thing, because it's really, right now, I think it looks like badly made pizza.
Not a good pizza, bad
Not
pizza.
a good pizza.
Is there such a thing?
Bad pizza.
Oh.
Well, you know, it's getting there. It did pick up more of the things than I was actually thinking it would. But, yeah, y'all see that? It's still a little pukey, but
it does look like pizza, though. It really
does look like pizza.
And now you've really made it into a pizza by adding me.
Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna...
This is one that you get out of the...
Here, you can have this thing back. I don't like it. Actually, that's pretty cool.
I think it's better to... So, this is the other way a lot of people use the sits. I know that, you know, Carrie Gibson, over at Carrie Gibson Art, she does both. Like, she stamps off of the stencil.
I don't want this...
that's better. That's how you use that one.
As an off, just brayer it and...
Yeah, and stamp it.
And stick it. Okay, I still need...
Stamp it and stick it.
I still need some stuff going on here. But I don't really like that.
Where's the ones from yesterday? Where's the new stencil?
Well, I should just hand you this bag of stuff.
Oh, and I could be the stencil getter?
You could be the stencil getter. I actually kind of drew little pictures here. And what I may do is I may use one of the stencils that I've never used that we have. Set this aside for just a minute. Because I think that this might be interesting.
Alright, see here, I found it. I found it over here.
Because there's not that much that's interesting on there. Now, this is one of the...
Okay, and here, and I gotta tell you a story about this stencil right here that took forever to cut. Because I didn't, I forgot to smooth the edges when I ran it through the Cricut app. So, all of those jaggedy, which I'm sure P absolutely loves, but the longer it, you know, the more jaggedy little areas and things that you have in these cutting machines, the longer it takes. So that thing took forever. Plus the fact that I had to run it through twice because this is that thicker acetate.
Okay, now this is still, this is still viable paint because I've used the retarder. So, that's the other reason that I really... And I'm really pushing on this so that I can, and doing different things. I want that pattern to come through. And I'm kind of, you know, the other stuff beneath it, I don't really give a rip one way or another. Now, I probably need to take that away because I'm kind of liking that. That's the other reason I pile my brayer paper up here, is because a lot of times that ends up being a lot more interesting than, you know, other things.
I think somebody said that comment exactly in the verse the other day.
Yeah, those are
I like my brayer
throw away the prints and keep the brayer paper. And as you can see, a lot of times I use both sides. How about that? And this is some of that craft paper. So
off
you
of the
get
roll.
off the roll. Whoa. I really need to tape that down because I'm a... Okay, now see, look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
Here, hand it over. I'm getting lots of exercise up and down.
And then we still have the underneath side. We're going to take this over here, and a lot of these pieces of paper that I'm braying off on are our catch papers. But now see, look at that. Isn't that just absolutely stunning?
Well, and you might explain what catch paper is. Not everybody.
Oh, this is the paper that I put down on the table that you see right here, right now. Okay? All right, so we've got that, and I think that's wonderful.
Ooh,
And
that
let's,
looks cool.
yeah, okay,
Here.
well, let's bust out
Ooh.
this green. It's called green gold. And I can't remember who I saw using it, but I think it was, okay, I'm trying to hold it so that I'm not, oh, that was a really big blop. And I'm sorry that I did not order the big bottle of this because I am loving this. Okay, now, Christy, are you with me? Transparent. All right, I'm going to go over the, oh, look at that. Is that not absolutely wonderful? I'm grabbing a piece of the hammer mill paper just simply because I think that this is going to be so cool.
Yeah, Felicia, I got that craft paper like over probably about 6 years now, I think, and I got it.
Yeah, it spent a lot of its life in the garage.
It did, because I got it for crawfish boils, because that's something we do here, and so it just sat in the garage waiting for the next crawfish boil, and then my mom, P, saw it out there and was like, why aren't we using that? I'm like, well, first of all, I don't even know where to put it because it's big. But of course now it sits at the end of the desk, which actually it's perfect. And I'm hoping when we reorder the paper, if and or when that comes, that it is the same stuff.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I like that. It's kind of lizardy, but I like it.
What did you, okay, yeah, touch the edge.
Touch the edge.
Okay, Mariah's, all right, see this little thing down here?
Oh, Felicia's in Louisiana. She's right next door.
Oh my goodness. What part? I know you're answering that. Okay, I'm hoping that at some point that's going to get picked up by something because it's making a little hole down there that I'm not really crazy about. Okay, so we've got this now. And the plate's still kind of, it's got stuff on it, but
Franklin, she says.
Whereabouts?
Franklin. I don't know where Franklin is.
Yeah, we don't know where that is. Our geography sucks. Okay. I'm thinking about using that, but I'm not. I don't know if I love the idea of the blue, but yeah, whatever. Okay, here's another thing that you can do. You can actually brayer on.
And I think Robin was kind of talking about this earlier. She says, roll out some paint, lay the template on the paint, then brayer over it, which helps. It does two things.
It helps hold it in place.
And then, plus you have, you can lift and do that.
Good thought.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin. I'm totally, this is I have so much to learn. I just put some lighter blue out there because oh,
it's a small town. I think I've actually kind of, for some reason it's sort of in my head. Maybe where Franklin is, but she's military.
Oh!
She used to move around and family is there. Ooh, I like that. I like the more ombre, less solid color, more ombre.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this down.
Oh, thank you, Pia. Enjoy dinner. I don't know if it's going to be HelloFresh, but I've been watching your stuff. She does HelloFresh too, and she's in Denmark, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, but she's going to go make dinner.
Okay, well, we're probably not doing anything that's terribly. Okay, you don't have to do the whole paper. And I should.
Yeah,
Hey, Mariah, my
one?
other clean one is right behind you there.
Oh, I see
There
it.
in that corner. Oh, that's okay too.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's the hard one.
Who knew there were different brayer types?
Well, I actually knew that because I had a friend who was a print.
Ooh,
Now see?
that's pretty. Here, I'll take it if you're
Oh.
done with it.
Well, I am for right now.
And I think that looks cool.
Okay, and then we're going to get a quick off thing there. Oh, look at that, Mariah. That is just so lovely.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, not so much on that side, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Now we have this. So we have to decide, you know, what we're going to do here. And I think to pick this up, I'm going to use this wonderful green stuff again. Stuff that I really, really wish I had a big bottle of.
Well, Gigi, Christmas is just around the corner.
I know. This is how Mariah, she puts stuff in her Amazon cart and lets everybody know. My birthday's coming up, and
Well, I ended up having to place the order myself on my birthday stuff. That's okay.
I told her that was the best way to get what you wanted. My mother used to wrap up presents at Christmas that she bought for herself and write my dad's name on it. He was always really surprised that he got her that.
It is a good green, and it looks fantastic with the...
Doesn't it? With the blue.
Yeah,
And see, it's transparent. Okay, I'm using some more Hammer Hill.
Hammer Mill.
Hammer Mill.
She really wants to call it Hammer Hill.
Hammer Hill. Hammer Mill is in, you know, a mill where
Yeah,
the
they make paper.
the grist.
The what?
The grist. A mill, you know, it used to be that they would grind grain.
Yeah, and
And
that's the...
Term is grist for the mill.
Yeah.
I think that this stuff has become my new this stuff. I mean, that is just so, I just so love it. All right, now we're
Do you love it?
I love it.
How much do you love it?
I love it so much. I'm still getting, I don't know why I keep getting.
Oh, are you still
This
trying to pull that
buildup.
edge off the...
Oh, see, it wanted to come up.
So maybe like that. So there was a post the other day about somebody trying to get all of that type of stuff off of her bubble wrap. She laid the paint down and let it really kind of soak in. At least this was my understanding. This was all explained like in a post. But sort of, I guess, softened it up.
Yeah, because that's what you need to do.
Then
It needs to be softened up.
right, so then she was able to pull it.
Well, I'm not going to worry about it.
I was
I'm just
saying,
going
we may
to
not.
sally forth and
Yeah,
you
Sally
know.
forth.
sally forth and whatever and do some more stenciling here. Okay, I'm still over here with my original blue paint. Hey, does Jeanette, have you?
I don't think Jeanette's in there today.
Okay. Well, I had a special thing all planned for her.
What? You can still talk about it, and I'll tell her about the video. I mean, unless you
Because,
need her involvement.
yeah, she was, inquiring about purple paint.
Yes, I was about to say, are we ready to move on to the purple paint
Oh, we're ready to,
situation?
hey, and let's just go ahead and use our flower.
Yes. I'm very in love with that.
The flower was a winner. And you notice that I didn't, this was kind of just a little.
Hey, and part of the deal was, I don't think that you didn't use the Stuart Simple Black, did you?
I did not.
yeah, I'm telling you, there is a huge difference. So let me kind of talk to this point really quickly.
Okay.
Is that when
I'll mix my paint while
right
she's
when
doing
P
that.
makes these, when she paints the stencil, what she wants me to make into the stencil, we have found, and it was sort of by accident that it was like, oh well, yeah, that totally makes sense, that the Stuart Simple 2.0 black is brilliant because you can, it doesn't reflect any. It is purely like matte, and so when you take a picture of it, you don't have any reflection, and you get a nice, clean, crisp image.
Yeah.
When you scan, or I just take pictures of things because my camera on my phone does a better job than a scanner that I have, because they're just, you know, little cheapy scanners. Now, if you have a really nice scanner, that's a whole other thing. But that's kind of a key element to getting really clean. So some of these kind of ran together and weren't as clean around the edges. So I have to do more work digitally, is really what I'm trying to say.
Get all that?
Did you get all that?
Okay, I'm putting some titanium white down there on the edge because I want to kind of let the brayer work for me. I better get a little bit more of this stuff out here just in case. And you can, you know...
That's the black stuff. That's the what we recommend if you want to make and paint something and then create a stencil. Then you can go over and watch our other video on how to, you know, basically I take a photograph, it creates an image, then I take it over into Photoshop, clean it up, blah, blah, blah. There's a video. I'll link it.
There you go. Okay, I know I'm doing a lot of messing around with my color here, but I do, is
method to your madness.
There is. I'm hoping that will become evident here soon.
And the great thing about the glass thing is, like, you're kind of going, whoa, but it does actually peel up. And it's somewhat satisfying to
yeah, I have a
scrape
big clunk of it.
Did you keep it?
Yeah, I did.
She means the skin. It's like the
It is. I think
dried
it's
yogurt, or not yogurt.
actually what it's called is skin.
Yeah. Like.
Okay, I'm just trying to get some
pudding.
different things going on here. And I'm not going to... Okay, can you hold that? Because it's really, 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 really wet.
I'm loving this purple, though. I think this should be like one of the... on the dark end of whatever purple paper set we do.
Okay.
Maybe we could call it purple people eaters.
Try this.
Sorry, our camera guy's here. He's helping us out. Is that more better? There we go.
Oh.
Pudding skin. Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Well, I'm not.
Your green went on, or this green that was already on there, right?
Yeah, it wasn't lovely.
No.
It wasn't lovely. All right, I might even be able to pull just a regular.
Actually, it looks good in the light. It's a bit kind of blah.
Well, it's the values are too close together.
Yes. You needed more of that. You need the green needed to be in that line.
Well, it was already the green that it was, Mariah.
Well,
that was not a print that I pulled. Yeah, well,
I'm just saying.
Thank you, there, Captain Obvious. Jeez Louise. Okay, now we have some really nice purple flowers. Which,
hold that, and then you can.
Yeah, I can.
Well, or
it needs to dry because it doesn't have any. Okay, like I said, some of
like that edge. What was happening with that edge?
Oh, that's just where I brayered over it.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it was kind of nice, wasn't it? Too bad I didn't do it on the other side, but I couldn't. Okay, so now we've got to use up our paint here. So we're just going to.
Are you watching this one? And, oh, there. Gotcha.
And you can really, you can feel the, you kind of feel it,
See, that looks wonderful together.
oh yeah, it does. It just totally does. I'm just trying to use all of my stencils because they're a lot easier to see if they have paint on them. God, I know that's a really wonderful aesthetic, isn't it? Well, the reason I'm using this is because I've never used them.
Right, so you've got to tell them about your little sheet with the purple X on it. And what do you use it for?
I use it to identify areas that I want to use my artist card on.
Yeah, so she has this piece of acetate that she has drawn an X on. And I found it on the floor, and I'm like, why does this piece of plastic have an X on it? It's in there. And here, no, it's up there.
No, that's another one.
Oh, that's another. And so then she goes, oh my God, that's where it was. Which I thought was pretty hilarious because the reason she put an X on it is so she could find it, but yet, see, here.
Yes, see, I move it around on the paper to see where the best spot would be.
So she
but if you don't have an X on it, I can't find it because it's like the same color as whatever it's, yeah.
But she lost it.
I lost it. You're just being
I know,
mean.
I am being mean, but it is hilarious. It makes me chuckle.
And I told her, I said, you know, all of this making fun of people that have handicaps and whatnot, that catches up to you. At some point in your life, you're going to be, yeah, saying, oh, I feel so bad.
Sorry, Mom.
I am so sorry that I wasn't. Okay, I've got to get this off of here. And I don't really know what to do. I don't know how. I want to let that dry just a little bit. Because
I really like this last one with the blue and the... Here, I'll take
I do
that
too.
for a second.
Yeah, it just needs to dry. And the reason I want this to dry is because I want to use this green with the purple. But if I put it on there right now because I've used the retardant, it's not... It'll just kind of all smush together, and I'd really rather it didn't do that. I also have this in... Oh, I already used this Nicolaso gold. Quinacridone. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But, yeah, it's some awesome stuff, too. And it's transparent. And I don't know, I didn't know this until somebody told me. They said, you know, that little bar on there where you can see the other bars beneath it indicates its opacity or transparency. And of course, after someone pointed that out to me, I'm like, well, duh.
And then you told me about it, like you were like,
I know, because I just thought
it
was like the discovery of the century. I mean, it was pretty mind-boggling. But anyway, that opacity and transparency of things is really...
Christy says karma. We know it's coming.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm really tired of waiting on this. And
I think this is going to be a good one if it, you know.
Yeah.
If it does what it should do.
Putting the soupy paint on top. I'm going to try to brayer lightly. I'm a bit heavy-handed with my brayering. You know, the weight of the brayer really on this lighter weight paint is really all you need.
gonna review the notes.
Yeah, good plan.
Did you talk about the different materials to make stencils from? I mean, I think you've touched on it slightly, but we have now used not only acetate, we've used the Yupo ones, file folder ones,
You've seen
offcuts
those.
from the Cricut,
Seen those.
stolen measuring devices.
Stolen measuring device. Oh.
Yes,
Well, it's.
and I
yeah.
know that it's like is it a protract? No.
No, I don't know what you use it for, but it just
It's
makes it.
mathematical.
Well, of course it is.
I always just like the way it looked.
Okay, I really I like this,
I do too.
and I really like the way it kind of gathered up around the seams,
Well,
and
and
that's
it's doing that because of that jaggedy, crazy, that took.
well.
I bet you it took a good
also
30, 40 minutes for that thing to cut.
Well, it's also because of the thickness of the stencil.
Yes.
The other stencils, which we're going to get out one here in a minute, but I want to go ahead and finish up my masking process here, and
Okay.
I do have a little bit of stuff on the plate, but I don't think it's enough to really make a big hoop-de-doo difference. And I'm really, I'm holding off on that one. I think we're going to do this one. And these are from...
Christy says the process seems pretty messy. I would think you need a lot of room for drying. Yes, Christy, and this is the struggle in the studio, is that flat surfaces
Here we go.
do not stay available. Meaning you put a table out and all of a sudden there are things that need to stay on that flat surface.
I do not know what is grabbing here. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Christy, you'll probably recognize some of these. These are from the little headband that you made Izzy.
Oh, I don't think I'm getting to those quite
Oh,
yet.
okay. Well, that's what that green stuff was.
Yeah, now I think what I'm going to do here...
Now, those are from words. Those others were not.
Well, whatever. Okay, yeah, I left the Ola in there. See?
Ola.
Ola. That's just to remind me that this is what these are from. I'm not actually...
And remember, if you want it to show properly, you've got to do like a double reverse type situation, depending on how you want it to show up, or it just doesn't matter.
This doesn't matter. I'm going to use some of this.
She might get lucky.
Some of this really... Okay, I'm getting to my
Your happy place.
My happy place here, which is kind of pukey colors. Mariah says pukey colors.
No, you then corrected me and said it was earthy.
Earthy, there we go.
And I even told Robin that I'm happy and bright and rainbows in the sky, and you
On the other hand.
earthy on the ground.
Okay, can you hook me up with some brown back there?
Why do you need brown? Like, you're already headed in that direction.
Well, I'm headed in that direction, but I'm not quite there. Never mind, I'll just use a little red and make it
brown?
Make it brown. Okay, now there's a big difference in reds, too. This is more of a... Oh, I don't know, cool. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get to an area where this color here...
I think you need to roll that on like as is and then work your way to it, but that's my feeling. I don't know. I feel like I'm like backseat driving, but yeah, see, I like that. And what's funny is sometimes when I do this with her, it's some of her best work. Sometimes.
Other times. Okay, we'll brayer that off here. And hopefully we've got enough retardant in there that we're not losing our...
Here, why don't you... This is dry now. I think that would be cool. What do you think?
Oh, that color?
Well, to pull it again.
I don't want to do that one. I've got one lined up. Get that out of here.
Alright, fine. Just trying to be helpful.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It is.
It's noted.
It's duly noted. Okay, so. Sometimes it's just a crapshoot. It really honestly is. It's just like, okay, well, that worked. Oh, well, that looks like, vomit after Mardi Gras. But the whole thing about it is you can always come in and do something different. Okay, well, basically what happened here is it was too close in value to this, but I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it yet, but I will. I will.
I don't mind this one. You're getting there.
Yeah, I think so. And
do you want any of these stencils back?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is a little experiment here. I do not know if this is going to work. Oh, great. I'm getting some peel up here. That's lovely.
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
Well, not necessarily. Okay, I'm going to pull this just to see. I have no idea. It's kind of a double whammy, and I'm hoping I've got enough stuff underneath there. That's all right. I can let it dry out and
peel them off.
Yeah. Okay, not on its own, but it has a lot of potential. Now look at those marvelous things going on there. And I know I'm not going to get any off of those, turning them over, because I just pulled it off on that print, which is really kind of a mess thing to do.
That's cool, though. You want me to take those?
Here, you can just take the whole little.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mariah. And I'm needing some more brayer off material here. Which I just happen to have some.
I was going to say, did you prep for that? Wow, look at there.
And that's a nice big one. Okay, now what I'm going to think about here. And I just really, I hate the possibility of messing this up, because I love this thing. So I'm not going to do that.
Leave it.
I'm going to leave it. But I think what I'm going to try to do is use a totally different color here. Try to offset this. I don't know if I can do that or not. I don't have enough paper there to do that. Okay, this may be, that might be interesting. How about that one? I think it's just kind of a waste, because I just anticipate this is going to be absolutely wonderful, because look at those details. I mean, it's just so spot on. What I may do is,
What you doing?
I need my rice paper. You know what I did?
Right there.
Right here. I think I'm going to pull this with the rice paper. Okay, so what color do I want to use with it?
I'm leaning on blue, but that's me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Figured as much. Go with that, your yellowy gold stuff. That'll look pretty too.
That would look very good. Thank you, Brian. This is just transparent yellow iron oxide. Highly recommend this. I use this all the time, and what we'll do is we'll just ombre it a little bit with, this may be.
And then I would say that whenever you get to a point, we can kind of wrap it up, and maybe what we do the last few moments or whatever is you can use your notes and just have them out there at the end and talk through everything.
Talk through everything. Okie dokie.
Ooh. I do love that stuff. Well, I found out that there is thicker rice paper too, which I think would be maybe. You might even get another couple out of that.
I can get another. Okay, I'm gonna have that too.
You could show them.
Oh. Well, it's flipping and flopping.
Look at that.
I mean, it's so cool. It almost looks like a semic writing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to use some of the green in this same and pull another. Like I said, I really wished I...
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, because we're at an hour and 26 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
I know, time flies when you're pulling prints.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just go on since I've got some good stuff. Because another thing that someone was talking about was a sweet spot on your
Yeah, it gets enough.
gel plate.
Yeah, tell them about that. Like
moisture-wise. And remember we were talking about some the humidity factor in Texas, which is like most of the time it's a negative, I think, almost.
Christy was laughing because I voted seafoam green, and of course you know, ixnayed me.
Oh.
Sorry.
I just, you know, when other people do happy colors, I'm like, God, that looks so cool. I just love that.
Ooh, that's great.
Boy, we're getting a lot of mileage out of this baby.
All right, here.
All right, you hold that side.
Look at that. This is going to be a really cool little series.
It really is, and I mean, this baby just keeps on giving.
This baby keeps on giving.
All right, I'm just going to use the plain green, Mariah.
Nope, do it.
God, she's
just... Go green.
And this is where you use the loosey-goosey stuff. Is when your...
Christy said some metallic. What happened with the gold? Is that? Do you put that on the jelly plate, or is that what you use?
Oh,
that,
yeah, you can use it on. Okay, Christy, I'll try the gold here in a minute.
I like the gold too, and it's really fancy looking stuff. She used it on my card that she made me for my birthday. And it almost looks like the heat embossed gold.
Yeah, and this is some of that high dollar golden stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the metallics...
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, you had something else, right?
If you're talking about the metallics, you do want to go high dollar. Because I even, you know, and I like the Arteza, but it doesn't have the same oomph.
Oh, no.
No worries, it wasn't the edge of my... Oh!
You're getting real sticky.
Yeah, I am. I hate that happened, but that's okay.
Yeah, now you're starting to, I think, leave paper behind. I don't know how much more you're going to get out of that.
I don't
Here,
know. But that is still...
I got it.
Got it? Really beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, I do have some paper here that got left behind. And I don't know if I can pull that or not. Because what'll show up is just a big white streak. Okay, I'm going to get some heavy body stuff here to get this off and
I think you've gotten all you can get.
I think so. I think so. All right, I'm just going to see if I can use my... Hey, turquoise is my happy color. Mariah, you know, she's... Pepto Pink is hers.
Not necessarily. I like.
She says that, but it really is. I like this because I can layer over this with... I think the turquoise looks so good with all kinds of brown. And I just, I want this to be fairly wet here. That's nice. Nice brayer off.
Oh, so hey, Christy actually asked a question on the video of the Yupo stencil and how many uses you can get out of it.
Oh my goodness, indefinitely. In fact, it's like I said, you need to drag out that one. Just pull those out and I'll tell you which one it is. I think it's that one. But I mean, I'm seriously, it weighs 5 pounds because I use it all the time. It's the little one that...
You gotta give me more than...
Oh, here, right here.
Oh, yeah, you do love that one.
Pull that out.
So this is one of the very first ones that I cut for her.
And it's out of the little more heavy duty.
Yeah, it's the acetate. But yeah, this thing is really starting to get some. We need to redo that one in the Yupo.
Yes, because the problem is with the thicker stencils, when you use it and you put your paper down on top of it before you pull your stencil off, it's hard for it to get down in the cracks.
So where it would be really great for direct paint, or I love to do some glitter glue stenciling. Ooh.
Now see, that's an absolutely...
See, that makes me happy.
Lovely, lovely background for something else. All right, what else did we want to talk about here before we...
Well, here, yes. Why don't you bring your notes in? I think I got them out of order.
Okay, making and creating the scale. Okay, the stencil. What style of design, geometric or organic? Well, we've used both of those today. And this is the reason I think I love this one so much is because I can move it around and I can get, the places where I had it too close together. Can you see how it didn't, the dots were too close together?
You might hold it up a little bit. Don't get too high up, but there you go. That's a little better.
So that they just kind of became one shape. I would like them to be dots, and I know what to do on that now. I still love this, but the rows where the dots are separated, I'm much happier with that. Okay, so this is more in the organic range of things. Scale. Yeah, this is a good thing to talk about on scale. Is this dry? Not really.
Here, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Now, I can talk about this because this here is from another stencil.
Here, I think it's in this
Yeah, it is.
bag.
It's in
I'll
that
give
bag.
you that bag.
You can have that one back. Okay. That's funny.
What?
Okay, I just, my in-between paper. Okay, so, scale. You can see here, these are bigger than this. But then I have this other one. And I want to talk about that too because I've yet to use that, but I do want to use that.
But there's its little buddy.
There's this little buddy. All right, so positive, negative. I struggle with this. Mariah struggles with everybody that I know struggles with this. Okay, what's going to come out here? Well, it just depends a lot on the way you use your color. Because if you go ahead and you do a dark color here, you're going to get more of an idea of the pattern of the lines. You do a light color and you're going to get the shapes are going to come at you. whatever is the darkest there, that's what's
Right, and then if you flip flop it, then you're going to get the crosshatch versus the holes.
Yeah. And you can, you know, flip flop it in. And this one you can tell I've used it quite a bit.
I think that was good that this one was on the heavier acetate.
Yes, because these little, if you're going to have sticky out edges or things that are very thin, you do need to go, I would say, with the heavier. But these stencils, I mean, I don't know how long they're going to last, but I would imagine, you know.
And if you cleaned them up, which some people do.
If you're using acrylic paint, it's plastic.
Yeah, it's not.
Now, if you were using something that would come off, yeah, you need to clean them. For sure. And here's this one that you saw a lot of. I used that one. I did a whole series with that one too. But that's some fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Robin popped in. She says those are so awesome. For the lightweight papers, pull the top edge of the paper towards yourself.
Ah.
Probably get a more even pull.
Oh, good. Thank you. It would also help if I taped down my dumb thing and I didn't have to hold it down while I'm pulling. That's the other reason that I usually tape it down. It's because
right.
You're
not fighting with it as you're pulling.
Yeah, it's like I need a hand coming out of my forehead here to, yeah, pull it all up. Well, we got some unintentional ghost print here. Okay, so now we're talking about, thank you for that, Robin, by the way. Texture, things to consider, tiny delicate lines, but we already talked about all that, blah, blah, blah. All right. Next. Paper. I think we pretty much covered that, unless you want to have any questions about anything. We've talked about the thicker, thinner. Didn't get around to the color wheel. Jeanette didn't join us anyway, so that's okay. On the paint, I mean, I don't know. Opaque is, it covers it, right? I tend to use that more for a base coat because then you can put the transparent colors on top, and that's basically what we did today. Viscosity, I think we've covered that. Drying time with the retardant, it really helps you. And I've got another whole series to do with things that I've used that I kept from the cutouts. Now this is what I'm talking about. Isn't this is sort of cool? And I think it's going to be a really interesting little.
I like the fish thing.
Oh, and I did a fish thing, and then I did a bubble thing.
Okay, Christy, maybe we'll do the metallics.
That would be a good thing to do for the metallics because I would like to have some shiny on there. Okay, drying time is important if you're going to, you know, be placing things on there and whatnot. Christy, remember this one? This is from the leaves. I saved all those. I even have the really furry one that I didn't get to today.
You have no idea how many times I've tried to
throw it away. What are we saving this for? I said, I don't know. But now see, if I hadn't saved it, I wouldn't have it. And I'm even going to use the little one with the little, like, you know, what do they call that on the whale?
Oh,
baleen, where the whale...
Yeah, it catches the krill.
Again, this is probably going to be a one-time pull because I don't anticipate that those are going to be with us after that. But you never know.
Now, one of the things we've been thinking about is, like, either Mod Podging or sealing the paper ones to see then if they hold up a little bit better. Because we talked about that.
We did talk about that, but my reluctance is I'm worried that they're going to come off. That the sealant will adhere to the plate, stick to the plate, rather than... Because that happens a lot when we use that, the butcher paper stuff. So,
yes.
Because that slicky side, it has a tendency to pull it. And it ends up on something that you don't really want it to end up on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, other than, you know, some things that...
Now, for those of you that are still in chat, or if you want to chime in, let us know what you want to see maybe on the next live demo. I think our plan is to try to do a live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then for those Monday, Wednesday ones, we're going to do more like show you stuff that is already made and maybe some very quick, not detailed like this because this takes a lot of setup. But Fridays will be our day to do stuff like this. So if you like what we're doing and you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. We do these videos along with regular videos. It's starting to happen more frequently, so almost at least twice a week now is kind of happening. And then if we do the live stream, there's going to be 3 of those during the week. And if you found value in this particular video, please like it.
Yeah, and if
Share
you
with
have
your friends.
helpful hints on stuff that I, totally mess up.
Oh yeah, if you're watching the playback
'Cause
on this, and comment below.
I've only been doing this for 2 months now. I know, but it's like once I start printing, I usually wait and do it on the weekends, but I end up, I spend 4 or 5 hours printing. And, okay, now see, that's
I was
kind
trying
of,
to wrap us up, and here you keep, see, this is what happens. She keeps going.
it is, and it's, the whole thing about it is, okay, I have to hurry and get something on.
Pretty much, she'll keep going until Izzy arrives because this is not something you want her involved in because it gets really messy.
Because she loves to do some brayering, let me tell you.
She's a roller.
She's a roller. I just love that. I just think that that's really awesome. I don't know that I'm going to.
All right, well, I'm just going to let you continue on. I am going to shut down our stream. Thank you guys again for watching.
Don't
Stay
shut it down
tuned.
quite yet. They might want to see this.
They might want to see that.
Look at that. I mean, yeah. I'm jazzed about that. Okay, well, I'm going to continue printing here.
Hey, Felicia, there's some really great. I will message you over on Facebook. There's some really great groups for the gel printing that are very helpful, and that certainly has been helpful to.
Oh,
to
yes.
me. You're starting to get.
It'll be okay. Yeah, I know. I'm getting some little funky things on my roller there, but.
All right, Christy has to go. Oh, Robin says hit the notification bell. That's right. If you like what we're doing and you want to see us when we're doing it each and every time, hit the notification bell because it will tell you when we are streaming live or if we have a new video that has popped up. It will pop into your email if you have that set. All right, guys. It has been great. We will see you probably Monday. If not, see you in another video. Thanks. Give them some bye hands.
Bye. Sorry. Just trying to pick it up.